It's 11 days to D-Day. That is Decision Day here in the state of Ohio, where voters will be voting on a ballot measure that could legalize abortion up to the very moment of birth. I'll give you an update on the door-to-door campaign, the phone banking, and more importantly, breaking news. We got a new TV ad that's about ready to hit the air. Also, I'll give you a review of the Gosnell exhibit. So stick around. You're listening to the Mark Harrington Show. Activist Radio, the Mark Harrington Show is brought to you by Created Equal. And you can go to createdequal.org to find out more about our ministry. And also, we are carried on all the popular podcasting platforms. And you can find out more about the radio program at markharrington.org. That's markharrington.org. Well, friends, as I said, we are zeroing in on D-Day. That is Decision Day here in Ohio, where voters are going to go to the polls and they are going to vote yes or no on a constitutional amendment that would legalize abortion up to the very moment of birth. And when I say that, I'm not lying. Here's why. Because the language in the amendment allows for abortion up to the moment of birth, because the word viability is going to be defined by the abortionist. It has an exception, so-called, for the health of the mother, which we all know can be interpreted so broadly that there are no limitations on abortion. So that's why we believe that's what could happen if it's passed. Also, all parental rights regarding minors' abortions will be wiped out, including all of the laws that have been passed over the last several decades that restrict and regulate abortion. So that's the truth of the matter, friends, with issue one. What I'd like to do today, I'm going to zero in on this TV ad that we are launching today. If you've been following us here at Created Equal, you know that we ran a TV ad several weeks ago with Claire Colwell, and Claire is a survivor of an abortion attempt in the 20th week of gestation, and where her twin actually died. That's her testimony. She survived, was born at 30 weeks prematurely, and lives to tell the story. And we ran an ad about her, talking about how late-term abortions come into Ohio. So this ad, though, is a little bit different. We're going to be taking on the issue of regulation and restrictions on abortion. Now, let me just say up front, I don't think we should regulate abortion, honestly. I mean, we should be abolishing it altogether. And that's been our vision and goal here at Created Equal, and for that matter, the pro-life movement since the beginning. But as long as abortion is legal, it should be regulated, because if it's not, we know women will die. We know mothers will die, and they'll be maimed, they'll be harmed, and we don't want that. I mean, we care about the mothers too, right? But we obviously care about the babies, but we do care about the mothers. And so this ad attacks that notion that there is such a thing as safe and legal abortion. Because if this amendment passes, all limitations, all restrictions, all regulations on abortion that have been put into effect by our legislature will be wiped out in one single day. And so Ohioans need to know that. And so that's why we created this ad. So we're going to play it. Basically, it's coming at that issue of that there is such a thing as safe abortion. The other side of this say they're saving lives by expanding abortion, that they care about women's health. Well, they don't. If they did, they wouldn't support unregulated abortion. So it starts out with a 911 call from a mother who lost her child to abortion, and then goes on from there. So if you would, Mr. Producer, go ahead and play this. Again, this is the ad that is now going to air in selected markets all throughout the state of Ohio on broadcast cable and CTV, streaming services, and the rest. So go ahead and play the clip.
911, where's your emergency?
My daughter! I think she's dead!
These are women killed by abortion. Mothers, daughters, wives. As long as abortion remains legal, it must be regulated. But the pro-choice industry is pushing a dangerous agenda in Ohio. Issue 1 abolishes laws that protect women's lives during an abortion. Do you care about women's health? Then vote no on unregulated abortion. Vote no on Issue 1.
Well, there you go, folks. This is really going to make an impact, I can tell you, because we're going into the enemy's camp by airing this ad, because they talk about how abortion's safe, how abortion protects women's health, and even most recently, they have ads talking about how abortion is life-saving. Now, I don't know how they get away with that. What's life-saving about abortion? You're killing a baby, and you're threatening or imperiling a mother's health and life. So this is an ad sharing several. Well, first the 911 call is about the mother of Cree Irwin in Michigan who lost her daughter, and then it shows pictures, rapid fire, of other mothers that also lost their lives to so-called legal abortion. And of course, the narrator says that as long as abortion remains legal, it must be regulated, and that is the truth. And that the pro-abortion industry is pushing a dangerous agenda on Ohioans, for that matter, across the country, by expanding abortion, and that botched abortions, or what I like to call a failed abortion attempt, happens commonly, and women are hurt, maimed, sometimes they die. And so this is the ad that's going to go right at the heart of the problem, the heart of their message, I'm sorry, which is saying that you need to vote yes on issue 1 to protect women's health and life. So in summary, Amendment 1, or I guess issue 1, is going to expand abortion up to the very moment of birth. There will be unlimited abortions through all 9 months of pregnancy. That means that guys like Martin Haskell in Kettering, Ohio, will no longer have any limitations. 21 weeks and 6 days is the current law in the state of Ohio. Number 2, parental rights protections regarding minors' abortions will be abolished. Why? Because the word individual is used instead of, say, woman or mother. We know that that can be expanded to mean anybody, right? Child or adult. And therefore, we think that parental rights are on the chopping block. And then finally, all the other safety regulations and restrictions on abortion that have been put into place over the last several decades will be eliminated all at once. So if you would, friends, I'm going to go to our website at createdequal.org, and you can find the video and you can share it. If you go to all my social media sites, you'll see the video. Please share it on your social media. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter. We'll have the ad there for you to share with all your friends, and those especially voters in Ohio that might be on the fence on issue 1, or those who would normally not vote in a off-year election, which is really what this is. This isn't even a midterm election. This is a municipal, more or less a municipal election. And a lot of people just don't go out and vote. Our people stay home on those types of elections. Well, they can't. In this one, we're not going to win. So you can forward this video, this ad on to your friends in the state of Ohio and elsewhere. And we are still trying to raise money. We're a little bit short of what we need to keep this on the air through Election Day. So if you want to help us out, go to createdequal.org/donate. So in order to wrap this segment up, I want to talk about this Twitter post by John Legend. My wife actually watches The Voice, and I think John Legend is on there. And I tell her, why are you watching this? That guy's a pro-abort. But anyway, he says he's from the state of Ohio. I don't doubt that. But he comes out in support of issue 1, which is sickening for me, for an Ohioan to do that and use his platform for it. I disown him. He's not an Ohioan to me if he's pro-abortion. We're going to play this clip, and I'll react on the other side.
My fellow Ohioans, our chance to stop the government's extreme abortion ban is on the ballot in November. Issue 1 will get politicians out of personal decisions about abortion. So it's time for us to vote yes on Issue 1 by November 7th. Early voting starts October 11th. You can vote early now. Let's stand up for our families and our freedoms.
All right. So that, get the barf bag out for this. First of all, he says he's an Ohioan. Well, I disown him. He's not an Ohioan to me. He's not a fellow Ohioan. Using his platform to promote child killing is not what Ohioans should be doing. Now, of course, he has his rights to free speech, but I can tell you this. I don't want to follow John Legend, and I don't think my wife should be watching it on The Voice anymore. Maybe I should play the video for her, and she'll come around. But basically, he's saying here that we should vote yes on Issue 1 to protect our families, get that, and freedoms. Families and freedoms. What an oxymoron. Okay, so we should vote yes on Issue 1, which expands child killing in order to protect our families. Your children are your family. They're part of your family. An unborn child conceived in the womb is already part of your family. To kill that child doesn't protect your family. It kills your family. So it's like this opposite, meaning in some way. And this is what we get from the pro-abortion side. They take words like families, health, and they flip them on top of their heads to make them mean the opposite of what they're known to be. Understood to be anyway. And then it says protect our freedoms. Really? The freedom to murder is not a freedom. The ability to murder without impunity, unborn children or anyone is not freedom. That's tyranny. That's anarchy. We need protections on people, including the unborn, and laws are made to do that. And so this is the opposite of Issue 1 is the opposite of families. It's protecting families, and it's the opposite of protecting freedoms. So, I'm not surprised that the pro-abortion people are now trotting out all these Hollywood stars and musicians and others and performers. That's what they do. But they're just parroting the talking points that they're given by the pro-abortion industry. This week, I got the opportunity to visit an exhibit that's traveling across the country that documents the crimes of Hermit Gosnell. And Gosnell was an abortion killer that got found guilty of several crimes in Philadelphia about a decade ago. And now all the information has been released, and this exhibit is traveling across the country. And it made a stop here in Columbus recently. And so I got a chance to visit the exhibit. And friends, if you want to, and I'll just say up front, I think it's worth going to, and it's going to be making its way to your town. But right now it's in Columbus until Election Day on November 7th. And it's called Evidence, the Exhibition. Evidence, the Exhibition. And you can find out more by going to evidencetheexhibition.com. And so let me give you my take on this, all right? Hermit Gosnell was a child killer. Herman Gosnell got 3 life sentences for multiple convictions, including murder, illegal opioid distribution, medical manslaughter, and performing illegal late-term abortions. So the reason, though, he got busted is because the FBI got a tip about the illegal opioid distribution. So they raided his abortion mill in Philadelphia, and then they found this house of horrors, and that's what this exhibition is all about. It documents the house of horrors of Kermit Gosnell. All the pictures taken from inside the place, including the babies that were discovered. And so I was interviewed afterwards, and I told the person that's putting this thing up, I appreciated the fact that he's doing this and shedding the light on abortion, because people need to see it to believe it. And so it's worth seeing for any of you that have interest in this story. But I will say this, these types of exhibits, these types of displays that rely on the consent of the viewer are not effective, because most people that come to these events are already pro-life. In fact, everybody that I know was there was pro-life. Pro-abortion people are not going to come to an exhibit like this. In fact, if you say we want to debate abortion, pro-abortion people will stay out. They're just not going to opt in. And the bottom line is this, that consensual efforts, methods, tactics, strategies that rely on the consent of the viewer or hearer to your message are doomed to failure. They're just not going to reach people. You have to take the message to our opposition, to those who don't agree with us. That's what Create Equal does. That's why we go to college campuses and high schools and overpass banner, or overpasses and everything on, put them on trucks and LED screens and all of that. Because if given the opportunity, people are just going to simply opt out. They're just not interested in this discussion. You have to force people to see it. So that's number one. Not to say that it still isn't worthwhile, because it documents the horrors. But the other issue is what Kermit Gosnell did to unborn babies, even late in pregnancy, isn't new. In fact, I submit to you, it's happening all across America currently. They're just doing it without getting caught. This is happening in states like New Mexico and Illinois and New York and California, where it's legal all the way up to birth. And I submit to you, it's coming to the state of Ohio if we lose on issue 1. This type of thing, these crimes that you see with Kermit Gosnell at this exhibit that's traveling the country and now is in Columbus, this type of thing, unfortunately, is coming home to every county or every state in the nation if we don't put a stop to it here in Ohio. So, friends, this is why Create Equal does what we do. We take these images and we take them to the public square where they belong, where people should see them. Because as long as this is the public policy of the country or this state, people ought to see the pictures publicly. So, all right, one last thing, and it's a bit of encouragement to end the day, and that is I met an individual at this event by the name of Brian Williams. He came up and shared a testimony about his pro-life journey. And I'm going to play this clip for you. It's pretty profound. It's awesome. I mean, I was so encouraged to hear it. And it is why we do what we do. So go ahead and play this clip. This is Brian Williams, who spoke at the Gosnell exhibit. Go ahead and play it.
3. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here at the Kermit Gosnell exhibition in Columbus, and I had an honor to meet Mark tonight, who is responsible in part for me being here. When I was a college student in 2006 or 7, can't remember the year, I saw a picture of an aborted baby that he and his team, you guys were out there letting us see the gruesome reality of abortion. And as a young person, 19 or 20 years old, that image was fried into my psyche. And so I committed from that day to be an advocate for life in the womb. And so today I'm married with 7 children. And I've encouraged our church, I'm a pastor, our church for many years now, last 12 years, to stand for life. And so the ripple effect of what you guys are doing is felt in ways that you'll probably never know, but I'm just living proof that your labor is not in vain. So be blessed and stay encouraged.
So the reason I play this is that a lot of times we don't see the fruit of our labors, whether you do what we do or other things for our Lord Jesus Christ or for the pro-life movement. Sometimes it comes back to you. This was 17 years ago when Brian saw us at Ohio State University. First time. He saw an aborted baby photo and it changed his life. You could hear the testimony. So now Brian is a pastor of a local congregation here in the state of Ohio called Hope City Church. It says he has 7 children. He's a leading African-American voice on the issue. In fact, he organized 300 pastors to write an open letter to Ohio voters and to the African-American community saying to vote no on issue 1. Now, I submit to you, if he wouldn't have seen those photos back when he was going to college at Ohio State University, who knows where he would have been on this issue or in his walk with the Lord. It's hard to know. But we do know this, because we did what we were compelled to do, which is share the truth in love. Brian Williams, Reverend Pastor Brian Williams, is who he is today, speaking out on behalf of preborn children. So I wanted to leave you with that bit of encouragement and just say, friends, you never know who you're impacting when you're out there on the streets or sharing the gospel or telling people about abortion. You never know. Sometimes you won't ever meet them. You may, have the opportunity to have them change their minds on the spot, which is something that happens to us somewhat routinely. But every once in a while, you get someone coming back and saying, hey, by the way, I saw this way back when. And then you think, oh, I was there. I was part of the group that did that. And so, friends, just keep that in mind. We don't often see an immediate result for what we are doing. But, we're sowing the seeds into the hearts of people that see what we are doing and hear what we have to say. So I just wanted to leave you that encouragement, and also exhort you to go see this Gosnell exhibit. You can go to evidencetheexhibition.com. All right. And so to finish up, I just want to say we got 11 weeks, or 11 weeks. I wish we got 11 days. So we are in the we see the finish line here for Election Day, and we've got the pedal to the metal. I hope you do too. And you can still sign up if you're in the state of Ohio to go door to door, or if you're not in the state of Ohio, or if you are, you can do phone banking anywhere in the country. And go to createdequal.org/issue1. That's createdequal.org/issue1. It's not too late to volunteer. We still need people to go out door to door. Whether you can do 5 doors a day or 20 or 30 or 300, it doesn't, it all adds up. The more people that we have going out, hitting the doors between now and Election Day, these are the days. These are this is crunch time, friends. What takes place in the last 2 weeks of elections often determine the outcome. So go to createdequal.org/issue1 to volunteer for door-to-door or for phone banking. So keep it up, friends. We can see the finish line. Keep in prayer for issue 1 that it would be defeated and that Ohio would put an end to this streak that we've seen of pro-abortion wins on constitutional amendments, and we can start to recover these and start winning in states all across the nation in 2024. So thanks for tuning in. You've been listening to your radio activists here on the Mark Harrington Show. God bless you. God bless America. And remember, America, to bless God. Amen. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to Mark Harrington, your radio activist. For more information on how to make a difference for the cause of life, liberty, and justice, go to createdequal.org. To follow Mark, go to markharringtonshow.com. Be sure to tune in next time for your marching orders in the culture war.